2 years ago, I made my very last gaming idea video. I made a video talking about my hopes and dreams for the next Attack on Titans 3 game, and the community voiced their opinion in the comment section. And I really enjoy making those kind of videos, talking about the future of gaming and what can push it and my ambitions and dreams and goals for gaming. I really enjoy making videos like that, but I have so many ideas for games, so I don't know where to start at. But thanks to Gloku and his amazing video, now I know where to start and what to talk about. A Boruto game. Now I know a lot of people are immediately upset with that idea of me saying a Boruto game only. I know people think like there's not enough material for a full-fledged Boruto game. You need Naruto first and then Boruto after to really have a game. But I'm here to tell you you're wrong. You can have a full Boruto game nowadays. You can. And be good. As well, I feel like it's a really smart play to start pushing Boruto games now, because people already have low expectations for Boruto. Instead of a Naruto game where people think like, oh, this is Naruto, we need a big game with huge budget and huge production. With that, people have the expectations extremely high. And then when they get met with the game is really low budget, then they're really upset and there's a lot of complaint. And then we have situations like Dragon Ball Breakers. You know, you have Dragon Ball game, big name, Dragon Ball, and then you get the game and we play it, it's really bad and we're upset. And if it was somewhat of a different name, then we would have had not such a high expectation. And that's what I'm saying for Boruto. Boruto, we already have low expectations. So when we play the game and it's really good, we're surprised, we're happy, and we're enjoying the game. And if it's really bad, well, what you expect? It's Boruto. It's not a Naruto game. You already have low expectations. So when you get hit with a good game, you're really happy and less complaint and less people really just bashing the game because it's a bad game or not. And this is where my idea comes in, and I feel like this will help the whole genre of Boruto and really the Naruto series as a whole. Is a roleplay action strategy game. Okay, now wait, I'm going to explain the three genres separately, so let me start talking about the roleplay part. Imagine in your solo campaign you choose what character you want to play as from Team 7. Konohamaru, Boruto, Sawada, and Mitsuki. You choose which one you want to follow and who you're going to play and who you're going to control your whole playthrough. Now you can play all the characters multiple ways, and you can choose to play one character the whole way through and the AI is going to just manipulate the other ones and they're going to do their own thing, or you can go back and forth and play them all in different times and all that kind of stuff like that. You can choose to do that. So let's just say you pick Sawada as the character you want to play. You're going to play as Sawada. You're going to walk through Konoha as Sawada. You're going to take missions from Naruto as Sawada. You're going to do these things as Sawada. So when it gets nighttime and you need to rest, you're going to go home to meet Sakura, not Hinata. That's what you will, you'll see if you're playing Boruto. And things like that are going to be different for each character. And whichever you choose, that's who you're going to see. That's what life you're going to experience. And that's what they're going to do. They're going to have their own side missions. They're going to have their own training. They're going to have their friends and group they play with and they talk with and they interact with, and you're going to have different interaction buttons and conversations and stuff because you're different characters. So if you're Sawada, you're going to have her group of friends she's going to hang out with and talk with and do all that kind of stuff like that. And if she has her own side missions, she's going to do them alone. She can recruit other teammates like Mitsuki or Konohamaru to help if she wants to, or if you want to really. And that's how you would interact with the more or less the role playing of the game. You're going to go to classes as Sawada. You're going to have to answer questions. You're going to have Boruto, try to pick on you or say things like that. And you can interact with different characters. And that's where like the role play aspect comes into the game. And I feel like that's what makes it interesting. You get to really like play the game and understand the characters without having to read the manga or watch the anime. And you're getting that. You're still getting all of that information and that knowledge about how the character works without having to watch the filler and go through all that kind of stuff. So that's what I'm saying here. I feel like it's a really good idea for the role play, and more or less you get like that Persona 5 type feel where you walking through Konoha, you're seeing the people, helping them find their cat, or you're helping an old lady cross the street, or they might give you some candy and stuff like that. You might see some iconic characters. You might see Tenten, you might see Kiba, you might see them just walking through the town, and you get to exploring Konoha walking through the village. And if, let's say, for example, you're Sawada and you meet, Choji, and Choji wants to talk to you and have a conversation, you're going to have a different conversation with Choji, as Sawada, than you would with Boruto. And that's how I feel like would be a really good game. You get to really experience the character, and it gives you like that Persona 5 type of situation where you're just walking through Konoha and you're just really experiencing the world. And you can leave Konoha and experience a different village and meet different characters, have different kind of conversations, and then you can have the tuning exam as well. And I feel like that is a really good idea, and that really ties into the more like the adventure part, where you can leave the village and go exploring and find different things. You have like the forest, you have different areas, you have like the lakes, you have rivers and things like that. And as well, with it being adventure, you won't need it to be super detailed, because the more of a like far back camera is not like a super like third person or first person type games, and so you don't really need it to be extremely detailed as far as the map. You could just have it more like like a Persona 5 and games like that, or even Baldur's Gate 3, have where the camera's pretty pulled back. You don't need it third person, you don't need it up close, you don't need to have it like directly like super detailed of the world, especially since you're doing a game like this where it's more action and adventure and stuff like that. You can have the camera pulled back, nothing too detailed, nothing too crazy, nothing too hefty on like a big team and really requiring the PS5 and PS4 like type of situations. You won't need that kind of stuff because it's an adventure game, and I feel like that's a really good idea to keep it where it's lower and closer to the ground, where it's not too ambitious, and I feel like that would be really good. So you have the adventuring part. People that know Naruto and know the world and know where things would look like and where things should be. You have those fans that are going to be like, wow, this is Konoha. These are locations that I remember from Storm playing the adventure, mode and stuff like that. And they'd be like, wow, this is really cool. Wow, I went here. I went to the ramen shop. Ooh, I went to get a burger. I went here and I met these characters and stuff like that. And when I went to 1010 shop, you experience those things in the adventurous side of the game, and I feel like that's really cool. I really like this, really good, and the fans will love something like that. They would truly love to experience and walk around, just like I said, Persona 5, how you can just walk around and take the train and things like that. You can do that same thing in this game, and you can really get that experience you've always been dying for a Naruto game, to have that adventure, because Strikers doesn't really have that, and more or less the adventure mode for Storm, that was really it. That's all you had. You really didn't have a Naruto game that really thought about the world and making a really fleshed out world, but not too ambitious where it's just too big and it's like a GTA map or something like that crazy. You can do like small like panels, small like little areas, so the game's not too overwhelming, especially for people. Nothing too hefty. Don't make it super online, open world or anything like that. Don't do anything like that. Obviously, just keep it really small, keep it really niche, keep it kind of tight. I feel that's a really good idea right there. So now let's get to the most important part, is the combat and most of the strategy part. Let me first explain the skill tree, and so you can understand how that was going to play a big part in who goes first, how much damage you take, and how much damage you're going to do. So how the skill tree is going to look: you're going to have your taijutsu, ninjutsu, genjutsu, durability, and speed. Speed is going to go to action speed and how many turns and how many actions you're going to be able to do in a turn and more or less all around, and compared to your enemies and stuff like that. And that's going to play a big part in who's going to go first. So let's, for example, you have Konohamaru. He's Jonin. He's going to be obviously faster than Boruto and Sarada, and maybe even Mitsuki a little bit, right? So at first he's going to be moving a lot faster than them. Now let's say you're playing Boruto. You take all your skill tree points and put them into speed. You're going to start moving faster, right? You're going to start putting that into your action speed, and you're going to start moving faster. You're going to have more turns and around. And that's how it's going to work. You're not going to roll a dice and see who goes first from that dice. No, you're not doing that at all. You're going to go off of your speed. And the game is going to more or less move like speed chess, or not really like auto chess, but like speed chess. You're going to be really fast. You got to be really quick and deciding your moves as your ally or your enemy is already doing theirs. So let's say you're Boruto, you want to start getting ready to do a Rasengan. You want to start, charging up your chakra to do that Rasengan. Which Rasengan you're going to do? You're going to do your regular Rasengan, or you're going to just throw the Rasengan? Which one you're going to, or most vanishing Rasengan? Which one are you going to do? You need to start deciding that now. If you're, as your enemy is getting ready to attack you, are you going to start putting up a defense? Are your allies going to, give you cover and stuff like that? And based off of how that moves and actions and stuff like that, that is going to play a big part. So obviously, if you have high defense, you're going to have it where you're going to take a lot more damage. If your taijutsu is good, you're going to start doing more damage in your taijutsu, and you're going to have more combinations and doing a lot more things in taijutsu. Same thing with genjutsu and ninjutsu. If you up your ninjutsu, all your ninjutsu attacks are going to do a lot more damage to an opponent. And same thing there. And I feel like that is a good idea to make it where it's fast. It does, you have time, you have strategy, you have all those things taking place in the game really, really quickly. And I feel like that's still keeping the Naruto type like situation going. You're more or less playing like your Shikamaru at a point, right? You're really thinking, you're strategizing what your next move is going to be. And if you're playing all of your teammates, you're gonna have to strategize with, you know, for each character. So you want to move Konohamaru to the left, you want to move him to the right, you want to have him defend Boruto while he charges his Rasengan or his Banishing Rasengan to hit the enemy. You're gonna have to decide those things really, really quickly, and that also has it where you're still doing something. It's not slow. It's not really bad. It's not doing anything really, really slow. And you're not going to just be standing there like, you know, Persona. You're constantly moving around the field. There's environmental damage. There's things like that. There's environments you can use into your advantages, things like that. You could have it where Naruto comes in and he, you know, helps in a fight, you know, at a point in time and things along those lines. You have all these type of characters that can come in as far as environmental and things like that. And you can use trees to your environment. You can use all kinds of things to help you fight these people in different situations. If you're in a no trees and just flat ground, you gotta try to think of something. If you have earth style, you want to use that. Things on those lines you're gonna have to use to your advantage. And you can obviously combo different, you know, jutsus and techniques together. So you have Boruto set up a Boruto strike for Sarada to get ready to use her Sharingan and use her techniques and things on those lines. So I feel like it's really interesting to have it like that, something quick, something fast. You guys can all, you know, combine things together, get cool panels, cool action scenes like how you have from Storm where you did your ultimate or you do your, you know, your technique and stuff like that. You're gonna have it where you have a cool action panel, something really, really fast, something really, you know, cinematic, really nice, and something quick. Honestly, I feel like that's something cool. It's already, you know, like I said, it's a Boruto game. You're already gonna have low expectations. So something like a strategy game where it's really fleshed out, really, really cool, and you know, environmental kills. You burn the whole forest with your fire style or your fireball jutsu from Sarada and things like that, or Miski, where he takes his hands out of the ground and he attacks you, or he does snake lightning and it does like some cool like effect. You combo jutsus together. Things on those lines will be really, really cool, really, really interesting, and we have a really, really different story from more or less the Naruto. Like more or less, people say like we're tired of Naruto, and you're getting that. You're getting a different story from Naruto. You're getting Boruto now, and I feel like it's really cool, something different, something new, something fresh, and not the same old games constantly like we've pushed out and we just regurgitated. You know, something different. And I think that's just it for now. I think that's a good idea just to talk about just for now. I don't really can't go too like crazy and in depth and everything because I'm not really like, you know, I'm not developing it. I'm just more putting my idea out there, and I want to hear what you guys think on that. I want to hear you guys' thoughts and what you guys think for the next Naruto game. You know, you guys want to see a battle royale, which honestly I think is not a bad idea, but I feel like to see something fresh and something different and a little bit more ambitious, this is what you would more or less aim for, and especially to get more of a Boruto game instead of a Naruto X Boruto or Boruto / Naruto type game. You're just gonna get a full Boruto game with, you're gonna have low expectations, but then you're gonna get high expectations because of how good the game is. Especially if you do a time skip in the game, now you're gonna have time skip Boruto and time skip Sarada and everybody else and Kawaki as well. And I feel like that would be interesting and really cool to see in the game. This is my thoughts. Let me know in the comments down below. I thank you so much for listening to this video. I'm kind of glad to talk about games again and talk about the other kind of stuff, but I will be back on some manga stuff, so don't worry. And as well, I'm gonna be doing something crazy too, so please don't worry, my D-gens out there. Wizard is out. Bye.
Bow, 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 bow. I like winning. It's just so great. It just does something to my penis.